I'm gonna have to leave here in about 5 minutes or so.
All right. Well, I'll show you the card.
Yep, I'll wait. I can.
And I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's got a lot of pieces. So here you go.
Oh, how pretty.
All right. So your directions will have all the sizes. This is from the name of this stamp set, Decorated with Happiness. And you'll use the matching dies from this. This is the little sprig that's on the inside. The sentiment is wishing you a season filled with happy or decorated with happiness and wonder. You could put a religious sentiment in there instead if you like. And then all of these pieces are just glued in their certain little spots. This is 3 pine boughs that are cut out with the, what's the name of that die set? The matching die set to the stamp set.
Beautiful DSP.
And the DSP is the Boughs of Holly DSP. And I use two different patterns. This is one pattern around the outside and a different pattern on the inside.
Beautiful card.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so whenever you need to go, Barbara. It's okay. The most complicated part, of course, is the cutting of the base. And it's fairly easy, really. This is a 5 by 11 piece. So the piece that you cut off can only get 1 card out of a sheet. But the piece that you cut off is what you would cut your pine boughs out of, and you could cut it. There's plenty to cut a bunch of pine boughs out of. But I'll put this. All right, so your paper, of course, won't be scored or anything yet, but you'll put your long edge in. I'm going to use my other one that I have treated. I could not read the ruler, so I took and put a piece of Post-it note tape behind it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you can actually see it.
Nice little tip.
I lined this up at an inch and a quarter, and then scored from 5 1/4 down to 1 3/4 inches. Okay, and then you turn the paper over and do the same thing on the other side. It's easier than trying to figure out the dimension. So again, from 1 3/4 inches, we'll go up this time to 5 1/4. All right, and that'll make your 2 slits. And then you'll start folding. Oh, you have to put that in on your scoring tool. And well, the stylus took a ride too, so we'll use the bone folder. All right, so on the first thing, you're going to go at 1 3/4 inches and score down just to the corner of that cut. Oh, you can't see me. Just to the corner of the cut. It's not very good lighting either. Let's see. Well, I'll take my word for it. It's down to the corner of the cut. There you go. That is showing up a little. So it doesn't go all the way down. Then you'll turn the paper over and do the same thing on the other side. 1 3/4 down to the cut. Turn it back over and everything else can go all the way down. 3.5 all the way down, 5.25 all the way down, and 7 inches all the way down. And when you go to fold this, just fold them up. But this last part, you don't want it to fold here. So the best way, this is pretty flat when you get it. The best way to do this is to kind of push down right here and then kind of pinch this together. And of course it won't close quite as easily yet, but it will make like this TP stand up here. And then you just fold it over and then burnish it here. Okay. All right, so then step number 1 is to get that inside sentiment stamped. Just not that one. This one. Let me put that in here for a minute. And this is and we're going to stamp this with Evening Evergreen, which is the color of the cardstock. You could use Shaded Spruce as well, because that is in the color palette of the DSP. Trying to get rid of this without ink all over me. There.
Ta-da!
Type of a grid in there. Clean this off later.
See you later.
All right. Thanks. I won't go through the dimensions on each one of these pieces, except to say that the soft succulent is a 1/4 inch different than its space, and then the pieces that go inside it are 1/8 of an inch different. All the dimensions will be on the sheet. Let's work from the back to the front. Oh, look down at the bottom. I get those borders even, Robin. There we go. All right, so then these pieces, these two, but we'll go here and here. And I'm going to use Tombow because it's faster. You could use tape as well. And these just get centered in their separate little panel spots. there's 4 of these pieces, and they're only these are 1.5 inches by 1 inch. These 4 small pieces here. And so their pieces that go inside of that are 1/8 of an inch smaller. I think this is a really special card, but it, you know, it's going to be hard on the mailing because it's so bulky.
Yeah, it would be one that would be harder to mass produce if you were doing like, 50 or 100 cards too, because it would be really time consuming. But it's a beautiful card.
So many supplies. Yeah, it's kind of like one that you would give to a real special friend, maybe attached to a package rather than mailed. Okay. All right, so those are all the pieces. This last one gets put here, but over the top of the pattern paper that's going there. So this is what the full piece of this looks like.
Pretty paper.
So you're going to get one of those there and one of those there. And so all around this outside frame, I use the same pattern. But when you cut it, every piece looks a little different because of where the pattern is. I want my holly branches pointing upward rather than downward. So change that around a little. The designer that I copied from used the Lovely in Linen DSP, but there was 3 patterns that were green and looked Christmassy. So her pieces look a little different. These tiny little guys that go on those 4 things, I'm going to give you the measurement on that one. It's 1 3/8 by 7/8. So they were kind of difficult to cut. So if you happen to get a kit that has a crooked piece, let me know and I'll get it to you, because really difficult to cut. Sort of like you have to have your math brain on and cut it from the big end first rather than trying to put a little piece under the cutter. And then while I'm gluing this, I'll tell you, I cut 3 of these pine boughs. 1 in evening evergreen, 1 in soft succulent, and 1 in gold. And that's pretty much all there is to that front feature. It's not all that complicated. All right, and then this piece is a little bit different size. This one is 2 5/8 by 1 3/8, so it goes right here. Sometimes I like to try to match the pattern up if it's a continuous pattern, but it's not here. So.
And is that from the same DSP pack?
It is. That one looks like this.
Yeah.
And the back side's like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty.
I don't like the back, but the front is pretty.
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose because they knew that nobody wanted to cut into the. Nobody wanted to use that.
Right.
Although, no, some people do some amazing things with paper that you'd never think. So this is not my layout design, but this is my selection of paper because I didn't have the paper that she used. So I think I did pretty good selecting the paper. This one goes right in the center here. Goes right over the top of this one that's glued right on there. All righty. And then as far as this goes, this is more simple than you would think. I have a few pokies that it didn't come out, so I'm working on those. All right. So blue dots. I'm going to put. Oh, I'm not going to use those. These are the little ones. My table keeps on getting pushed away. I did buy a new table for here, so hopefully I can. It's hiding in the back of my car right now. Don't want to bring too many new things in all at once. So you got the dark green one, and then I put the gold one over the top and kind of fan it out just a little bit. Put another glue dot on top of that, and put the soft succulent one on the top and fan it out. Now you don't want to fan out too far here, but this is pretty much the way that's going to ride. And so the last one is to put the glue dot on the bottom. Now, I'm not thrilled about not having this as secure as I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some inconspicuous places. In other words, where there's a lot of overlap, like right in here, I'm going to put another glue dot in there to hold it from shifting on me, and maybe one more kind of in this area here. Well, glue dot. Ooh. Whoops.
Oops.
We back into some. There we go. Okay, so then this piece then just gets laid on here. It can go over the edges because when the card folds, but you don't want to go too far over and go off the edge of the card over here. And then the last thing is just this gold bow I made for you. And it just gets glued with a glue dot. This is our gold shimmer ribbon. I don't know if it's available, but there's another open weave ribbon in gold that we sell. And then I'm going to put this at the connection of the pine boughs.
Very nice.
And then I put 3 red or green rhinestones on the bottom that I had from the previous thing that I thought would be pretty. One I put green, one I put red, so this one's going back to red. My fingernails are getting too long to flip rhinestones. All right, so right down here, I just split this difference with 3 tiny little dots of glue. One in the middle. And then I picked these guys. Oh, one. took the lid off and then picked these guys up. Make a place there. Lay down. And right there. I think that's all it needs. I don't think it needs any other la 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 la.
It's pretty,
Okay. So
very pretty.
thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all the cards for today.